what's up, everybody? It's Dr. Giggles, and we got our buddy Marcus. He flew all the way from Texas just to be here tonight, and then tomorrow morning he's just going to fly back home. Actually, no, but I thought it'd be funny for the moment anyway. So everybody say hello, Marcus. You always see him in the chat room. And, hey, what's up, Charles? So, 2 weeks in a row we got a guest. Last week we had Dave, now we got Marcus. And after this show, this week, I need to get off my ass and get that Skype thing. I haven't tested it. Haven't even tried it.
I gave you the options.
Yeah, I know. I just been, with the moving and everything, I've been so busy because a lot of people have hit me up like, hey, can I be on? And I'm like, yeah, when I get off my lazy ass, it's not anything more than me just being lazy. That's all it is. I do have the good excuse that I was prepping move-in and it was chaos.
True. Moving does take a while, but
it does. But so
we will work steps in the right direction this weekend.
That's
work
all I really need.
Slowly.
That's really all I need is to get off my butt and do it.
What's going on, Charles? How's it going?
Hey, what's up, Ben? So this week's a little different. It's not announcement day, so hopefully the show isn't as boring as usual. Maybe I'll find a rant or two to talk about. But we're also, not only are we going to talk about whatever news is, I wanted to bring up, and we'll get into that in a little bit, about the 2 Texas rides that were announced. Because, one, I know a lot of us have been talking and we all hate clones, but we all want those 2 particular rides cloned. And he's from that area, so he can give us a little bit more insight. And I also wanted to talk about the Joker, too. Because even though it's the same thing as, what's up, Michael Estrada?
What's going on, Michael? Welcome.
Even though Harley Quinn and the Joker are the same, you have something that we don't have.
Oh, yes, we do.
You have the Funhouse Q-line thing.
We do.
And we don't have that. So when we get to that section, you can break it down. People have seen the videos, but it's nice to actually have somebody here that's actually experienced it. It's different watching. It's kind of like Star Wars Land.
Yeah.
Like you watch it,
but
it's different from watching it on the YouTube or whatever than being actually there. Because I'll probably feel like a little girl, like all a little emotional. Because I love Star Wars. I grew up, and technically I watched the first Star Wars movie in the theater. I was in my mother's stomach when they went to see it. So technically I heard it. I didn't see it, but I heard it. Technically, so that's how...
clapping through the womb, yeah.
Yeah, when they heard kicking, it was me clapping. Beautiful movie, me clapping. So yeah.
How many more will they make?
Well, supposedly, the one coming out on Christmas is the end of that Skywalker story, and then it just be whatever else they do. But I'm very interested in the Mandalorian that's going on Disney Plus. Because it's all about the bounty hunters.
Yeah.
And Clone Wars is coming back to cartoon series.
Jay, I drove to Austin. What do you expect?
Drove to Austin, flew to Boston. So, yeah. So, again, we're going to talk about that. So, we'll talk about some Disney stuff, some Great Adventure craziness. We got some Magic Mountain. We got the Texas stuff. There's a topic I wanted to bring up, which I put in the things to talk about is Six Flags actually listening? And I actually typed up a little thing about it, and I'll plead my case about that they are listening to an extent.
I can agree. Well, we can talk about that because my idea is a little iffy on that, but
yeah, and we'll also talk about Hauntapolooza. I need to get that list from Jessica of the haunts. I only know a few. See, Jessica created the.
I can tell you one's coming to Fiesta, but that doesn't do us pretty good.
Yeah, well, Jessica's the one that created the word Hauntapolooza.
Yeah,
she started that whole thing, and then I just kind of yanked it and made a channel out of it. Even though we're all part of it, I just kind of was like, hey, let's make it a thing. So we're going to talk about that and some things that I do have coming up for that channel that I've been working on, that I was talking to people yesterday and talking to other haunts and stuff. Also, I want to talk about how you can fix Goliath at Six Flags New England. There is 2 ways to fix it. Will they do it? I don't know, but there are 2 ways to fix it, and it could be inexpensive-ish. If they wanted to save the ride.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be talk at the end about a new podcast, just an audio podcast, not a video one. So we'll record that. And I figured out a way that people that want to be part of this, even if you're not with me, how I can record it and not sound like crap. So if there's topics and stuff, or if somebody wants to be part of it, I've got the way.
All right.
I've got the way. I got the way of the force with that one. You know, because if you noticed over the last year, the Grove Show has become more community-based than what it was.
Oh, yeah.
The whole SFNEOnline thing is all about community. It's not about me or people a part of it. It's everybody. I'm like, it would be like if I was the president of the United States. I'm like the president of SFNEOnline, and I was the face. I don't want to be just me as the face. I want everybody to be the face.
Yeah.
There's no reason why Jay Kite or Charles or Ben or anybody that's watching can't be part of it. There's no reason why can't be part of it. And it doesn't matter that Jay and you live in Texas, because you can give us insight about Texas. I know, yes, SFNEOnline is mainly a New England thing, but we try to... Us New Englanders do like to know things outside of New England.
Well, it works in a way because, you know, especially, obviously, New England being my home park, and then going other and seeing these other parks and how they do things. And there's definitely differences.
Yeah.
Jay heard me saying that a million times. There's definitely differences, but it's good to compare and contrast, especially where you've been. And
yeah, and there's a lot of crazy things that go on with it.
I still like coming here and riding the stuff here. I'll never get tired of that. So.
Yeah. So I mean, there's no, like I said, there's no reason why anybody at any point can't be part of it. I know. Cody and I have been talking about things. He actually, at the end of last week's show, gave me a bunch of ideas that he couldn't work on that I can.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that. And then if you look behind you, there's I bought a whiteboard and I started writing stuff, video ideas and stuff over there on the whiteboard. So as I get an idea, I just write it down, and then I go to the board, and then when I make a video, I erase it and then put some other stupid idea on there. Because I'll say this. Everybody knows about the TPR controversy going on right now.
Yeah.
And I was actually, for those people that don't know, Charles helps Rob for the New England area with coverage, because Rob don't come up here.
Yeah.
But I don't hate Charles. Charles is a good guy. And I hope nobody, by knowing that he helps TPR with stuff.
Going on that, did you... I can't say confirmed if it was true. I honestly don't care about anybody's tweets. That's why I got rid of Twitter. But there was some thread, and I mean, it's kind of like watching the McDonald's or the Wendy's. Like,
oh yeah, Wendy's.
They're
and
funny, but you never know if it's true or not. That somebody had sent, I guess something with Rob Alvey or whatever, and Tony Clark from Cedar Point had. Like replies.
Yeah, it was
yes,
like
I
duly
did,
noted.
I mean,
yeah, I seen that.
I'm sure that's just him being like, all right, whatever. Like,
but instead of
get off my, get off my.
This
butt,
has to do with SFNEOnline, not in the same topic, but we all know how Rob is, and I'm not saying it in negative or positive. Or Rob does his own thing. Rob has his right to. Yeah. I was telling Charles last night. I said, enthusiasts hate Rob. Across I know so many that hate him. But the GP love him.
Yeah, because of the video.
Because of the video. Because Rob goes all over the place. And I'm not knocking Rob for his hustle or anything like that. I could care less either way what he does. But the reason why I try to do a comparison, I mean, I'm a little fish in the sea compared to him. But if Rob is smart, and I think he is, because he's done crazy stuff all the time. If he's smart, and I told Charles this, and Charles, I think, agrees with me on this, is all he has to do is just keep doing his thing. Yeah. He's not going anywhere. Yeah. He's not going anywhere.
I mean, if it was, it would have happened a while.
Yeah, it would have happened a while. I mean, there's a thing called cancel culture that, like a famous person, like what's her name there, Sarah Silverman there?
Yeah.
She just got dumped off a movie for a skit she did years ago in blackface. Like, yeah, before anybody complained about blackface, she did this thing and they canceled her career. It's like, in a matter of a second. They're trying to do that now to Dave Chappelle. Because of his comedy special. They're trying to do that. People are going to try and do that, and if you're smart, you just ignore it, put your blinders on, and just go.
Yeah.
And the way I look at it, and I preach this all the time, if you don't like it, don't look at it. Yeah. There are people that enjoy what I do. There's people that hate what I do. You know what I'm saying? So who cares? Like, who am I to say, you're a bad boy, don't do it? I mean, I rag on, like, the Enthusiast crying about stuff all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I do.
people get annoying, and I get it, and it's stupid, and whatever it is. So, whatever it is, you know, I'm not going to be like, you're an asshole, because I'm an asshole.
Well, like I tell you, you know, my solution to all that is just purposely being ignorant about it, just not like la 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 la.
Yeah, I do that too. I mean, I laugh about it so much. I watched all the people lose their mind about the TPL, and I'm like, who cares? Yeah. Like, I've seen Rob I finally understood his sense of humor. It took me a long time to understand what he was doing. I get the whole thing now. I get it all, and I just laugh now, and I'm just like...
You gotta memorize the Log Flume song.
I don't remember what the Log Flume... I don't think I ever watched that.
It's on everything. The Log Flume song. We are on a log flume.
Oh, somebody was talking about that. About him singing about it.
Easiest song to get to know.
Well, I am on the log flume?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there you go. But yeah, like...
Or you're on whatever ride you're on.
Yeah. I'm not against anybody creating any content they want. I want more people to create anything. If you make enough entertaining videos or whatever, do it. There's an audience for everybody. Yeah. I mean, I could probably sit here on YouTube and pick my nose for an hour and somebody would watch it. I mean, I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't even want to watch myself do it. But I think somebody would watch me pick my nose for an hour.
It was a good hour.
Yeah, it was like, oh, that was some really good juicy boogers, you know. But anyway, so enough of my spiel of nothing. So let's get into the news talk. And then whatever you guys decide to bring down into the chat over here. Yeah, see.
There you go.
And we'll bring it. So we're going to start off and get 2 Disney items out of the way. Because last week I talked about the TSA banning the Star Wars Coke bottles.
Yeah, that didn't seem too surprising to me, to be honest.
Well, they've already reversed it. Everybody's suspecting that the mouse called TSA and was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So the new rule is...
under 3 point.
Well, no, it's over. Ounces. Well, it's over the ounces, so you have to check it. Yeah. So they're gonna be discreet about it. You know, when they see it in the X-rays and stuff. Yeah. They still have the right to remove anything. So didn't we sing that at Fiesta?
Yeah.
On log flume.
A lot of things happened at Fiesta.
And so you can now. Hey, what's up, Nicholas? So now you can bring that souvenir bottle that looks like a hand grenade in your checked luggage. So they reversed it.
It's just like if you bring...
Well, because there was also...
Body soap on it. You can't put it in your, carry-on, so just say, all right, check the goes.
Yeah, well, they also said there was reports of people having their lightsabers confiscated. Like the $200 ones.
The ones that they, crate, whatever.
Yeah, the ones you build and all that. They were saying, no, it looks like a weapon. But it was never listed as a ban. I think Mickey Mouse called up TSA and was like, you, squash this now. You're messing up our sales. Yeah. You don't mess with the mouse. Click. And they did that. So, yes, you can now bring it. Because I was like, I wanted to bring one home. Yeah. They're expensive. I think they're like $7. For the thermal detonator Coke bottle.
The Coke ones?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I thought the lightsaber was a lot more than like 200 something.
No, it's $200.
Just to create it.
Yes, John. That whole thing is those, the people, and we talked about like when they were trying to do the cancel culture on SFNEOnline a few months ago. Yeah. Remember when they were trying to do that and it didn't work?
And I knew the people who were doing that too. It's just why I laughed.
Yeah, I mean, we all know who was doing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then we were like, yeah, we're not going nowhere. I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
The difference was they were trying to steal SFNEOnline because it had numbers.
Yeah.
It had the Facebook, it had the Twitter, they had all this other stuff. And I was starting to build YouTube, and they were like, well, we don't want your lewd and crude Halloween videos, and we don't want you doing these videos, and the Grow Show should be not part of SFNEOnline.
So what the translation of that is, hey, I see you have all these numbers. I'm really interested in
I'm
taking
not gonna.
away from
I'm
you.
not. I'm not.
I'm gonna make a big deal about it so that you get away. That's the translation of that.
Yeah, they were.
So.
Oh, they're $12 for the grenade Coke bottles. I'm still gonna buy one, just because I want to drink out of a thermal detonator. Damn it!
Right.
I'm gonna go so broke on this trip. It's not even funny, but it'll be fun. And the whole thing with that was, I think they were trying to get all their goons together to cancel me out, make me cave in and go away.
Yeah.
And guess what? Didn't happen. Because I don't. It's not that I don't take this seriously. I have a good job. I'm not looking. I mean, would I love to monetize this channel? Hell yes, to make a few bucks.
Yeah.
Help pay for gas or something.
Yeah.
Would be nice. I'm not trying to be a million. I mean, I would love to. Don't get me wrong. But in this environment in YouTube, you can't. You have to like get some weird viral video to go, and it's really hard.
Yeah.
But I just do this because it's what I enjoy, and I'm glad that you guys come along for the ride, and especially with Halloween time. Those that like the Halloween videos will get the Halloween videos. Those that don't like the Halloween videos, you're still going to get amusement park videos. So, if you like Halloween, it's a double win for you. If not, I'm sorry. You know?
Hey, I don't, but it's like, well, November comes along soon.
Yeah, and then Christmas comes in.
That's how I think about it. It's like,
yeah. And
I get mad because I'm like, well, November will eventually come. And
yeah, I mean, that's like I knew, like, Fairtown, the movie.
Yeah.
I know that's not everybody's cup of tea. People were, like, appalled that I would put that out there. People were like, why would you put... I said, that's why it's not on SFNEOnline. It's on Hauntapolooza. If you don't like it, don't look at it. You know what I mean? If you don't like... And I'm not mad for people who don't want to watch that stuff. I get it. Haunted House is not for everybody.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm not mad. Like, some of my videos, they're not for everybody. Yeah. Either you want to watch it or you don't. Maybe you don't... Like, I don't care.
Nicholas?
So the last Disney thing that I want to talk about was Disney fired back at Universal. Because I don't know if you remember when Universal announced... What is it, Epic World? I forgot what it is. See, they announced it too early. I already forgot. Whatever it was, they took shots at... Yeah. They took shots at Disney.
Okay.
They took a dig at Disney. So now, Disney returned fire.
Yeah.
So what they said was, they were talking about Galaxy's Edge, and they basically took a shot saying, a 10-hour line doesn't exactly mean success, as Disney has had their issues with attendance in Disneyland, and right now it doesn't seem to be that way in Florida, and as they learn from their mistakes at Disneyland, things to be a little bit better in Florida. But, in the thought in my mind, is that a true statement? Because Hagrids has been nothing but a bust. Like, people love it when it works, but it's always broken. It's broken all the time.
Yeah, but that's like every ride in the amusement park industry. The point is now that, you know, it's Universal and people are paying $200-$300. What was it? I think it was like $400 now for a 2-day. What I got in 2015 when I went is now like $400 for that same ticket.
Oh, yeah.
For just me.
Yeah, well, put it to you in context this way. I'm sure I told you.
So,
I'm sure you heard on the show.
Now it's a bigger deal because people are spending more money to wait in longer lines.
Yeah, well, like that's like I told. I know I said on the show at least twice how much I spent just for Universal for Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, this is 5 people tickets to get in, and 5 RIP tours. $1,800.
Yeah.
So, what is the math on that? I don't know. I'm not good at math.
For 5 people,
Yeah,
be like
300, 400.
no, that'd be like almost $5,000 for 1,800 person
No, 1,800 total.
total.
If you divide that by 5,
5.
Like 350, 375,
Yeah.
something like that. I guess that's not too bad for what you're getting. Because I did the behind the scenes tour in 2012. Well, it was a VIP tour at Universal. Now the VIP tour at Universal costs $189, which is $189, which is cheaper than a Six Flags VIP tour. Six Flags is over $200. Yeah. I mean, if you got a membership, you can get a discount on it.
Yeah.
But still, a regular person that doesn't have a pass is paying $225, $230 for the Six Flags VIP experience.
I don't do those.
But because I know how Halloween Horror Nights is,
Yeah.
you cannot do Halloween Horror Nights in one night
No.
if you don't have like a disability or a VIP thing. It just doesn't work. So this way, you skip all the lines to all the haunts. They put you on some rides. They give you the VIP seating at shows, and then your lanyard becomes the skip the line pass when you're done. I think you get like 4 or 5 hours out of that night with the guide, and then after that, I think you get like an hour and a half, 2 hours free time at the end. So then you just. So I'm okay with that, and plus they give you some kind of food and beverages too. There's like a little appetizers and stuff that you can get with it. I was reading. So anyway, as I just went on that rant. Yeah, SFNE does VIP tours. All the Six Flags do. You can look online. I've never done it. There's no need for me to do it.
It's all depending on the layout. Each one's different pricing.
I mean, like, if I was gonna go, say I had like 6 months to live, and I want to go to Magic Mountain, I would do a VIP tour at Magic Mountain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
I think it's more for those, either like a group or like something that's like filming something.
Yeah.
That usually do VIP tours.
Yeah, some people who like to splurge. Plus, I knew that I was only spending one night of Halloween Horror Nights. I didn't want to spend $1,800, but I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna do it and cry about it later. Yeah. I'll be crying.
Oh yeah.
When I look at my,
especially when you look at that bacon stain.
Where did all that go? I had all this money, and now it's so good. That's gonna be me. So, and of course, for you New Englanders, yes, there will be coverage. There will be live videos on Facebook from the Florida trip. So you'll see Mickey's Not So Scary, even though you guys have probably seen it 500 times from all the Orlando people that YouTube channels. But you'll see my reaction. And maybe if I happen to ride It's a Small World, I'll do my annual talk crap about it while I'm riding it on Facebook Live.
I remember that.
I've done that 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
So, we'll have to make it a third. Because I know Jessica said she likes to ride. Alyssa's never been to Florida, period. Like, not even to visit a person. Like, never been. Not knocking her, but so she's a spoiled kid. You realize that, right? She's going to Florida, like, with a bang. Like, not a normal person trip.
Yeah.
She's not doing what normal people do. She's doing what I do.
They're not normal.
Yeah, we're not normal. So what do you guys think about the whole thing is, do you think a 10-hour line screams success?
No.
Well, and why I think it doesn't scream success is because, well,
I think mine goes back to what you said of really any ride can't be worth a 10 hour. I mean, I waited 2 hours for X2, and yeah, when I was 10 years old, I didn't really care, but now it's like, I wouldn't wait 2 hours. I mean, I'd get a flash pass and do my ride and be like, over.
Look at that. $280 for a VIP tour for 1 day per person at Six Flags New England.
Yeah.
That's not worth. No offense, Six Flags, but that's not worth it. When I can go to Universal Studios either for Halloween, put it this way, 2012, I think it's like a smidge more. Like, it might be like $250 now. I got 2-park 1-day VIP tour for
Yeah.
$189 at
Yeah,
Universal.
That's not. Especially, a park that you can do in one day, like Six Flags Mountain.
So, and
You just gotta go on a Monday.
yeah, well, a $189 gets me all the haunted houses, the VIP seating, plus my thing becomes a skip the line. It's for like a half a day.
Yeah.
Well, not really. It's like 5 hours, depending upon how long the park's open.
Well, I mean, you do, like, what I do is, like, you choose your favorite route, the ones you like to do the most. You use your pass on that. And then that'll pretty much suffice you for...
Yeah, he goes, she's doing what her safe place is lovingly providing. Hashtag, gosh. Yeah, well, one thing is that...
But is he wrong?
No, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to treat her any different than my kids.
Yeah.
So why am I going to be like, no, you stay home, the rest of us are going to Florida?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to, like... I'm like, you all know, I'm like a 5-year-old. I think we can all agree that I'm like a 5-year-old, right? I think we can, mentally, I think.
We're like 9.
I was kind of hoping for 5, but anyway. So when I plan a trip, I get all excited, and I look at all the cool stuff that I want to do, which is way more cool than what the kids want. If you let the kids do it, they'd sit there with their cell phones and their laptops or the tablets.
They'd be like, that's my favorite bench over there, that's my favorite bench over there, that's my favorite bench right there.
Yeah, so
That place has AC.
Yeah, so I figure with this...
Although I can't say that because being in Texas...
Everything's in AC.
Yeah. Well, like Jay and them will tell you. Finding a place to have AC is, like, number one. Like, if a place has AC, you go there.
Because I know, like, in Over Texas, all the bathrooms had AC. In Over Texas. And we spent a lot of time in the bathrooms. The favorite ride of the day was bathroom the ride. And we weren't even going to the bathroom.
Right.
We were cooling off. Because it was 107... I think.
What?
It was like 107 degrees when I was at the park
Oh,
that
yeah.
day. It was ridiculous.
It was...
Well, I know what you're saying, Charles. I know what you're saying. So, yeah, so again, I personally don't think 10-hour line means success, only because during that every day since, and there was days that hasn't even opened, Hagrids. It broke down so much. I was listening to people complaining and actually calling Hagrids a dud and a failure. They're like, when you can ride the ride and everything works, it's a great ride. Does it live up to the hype? No. Does it break down all the time? Yes. Some people, like, when they broke down opening day, some people were like, okay, you went through the queue, you'd wait like 4 hours, the ride would break down for an hour, you'd move to another area in the queue, you know what I mean, keep moving, ride would break down 2-3 hours, then it would get back up, run for like 20 minutes, break down for 3 hours. So realistically, if the ride was not breaking down, it was probably a 2 or 3 hour wait.
Yeah.
Which would be
a typical for an opening,
right?
New opening ride.
Because that's what was going on with what do you call it, Millennium Falcon ride in Orlando. The day the first 2 days it opened, it was like a 255-minute wait, and then it dives off later on in the day. And they're trying the crowd. I'm sure you've seen this. That just trash talk Star Wars because of the Last Jedi. They're like, Disney ruined Star Wars, and I'm mad, and the hell with Star Wars, and
here's the thing that's gonna piss a lot of these guys off, and maybe you. I don't care about Star Wars.
I love Star Wars,
and I don't care about Harry Potter either. So the fact that it's a 10-hour line, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be too busy riding Hulk to.
Oh, I would never wait 10 hours for Hagrids.
I mean, I don't even think I would wait 2 or 3 hours.
No.
Because how I do new rides is I wait till the next year when everything
dies down. What's my favorite B&M sit down? Isn't
I've only read one.
Is Titan B&M or no?
That's which one?
Over Texas.
Giovanola.
Oh, who would have what and a where?
Goliath. I imagine that. It's Giovanola, which is the weird company that obviously failed. So they only made like 2 coasters.
Oh, what? So they made the Magic Mountain in over Texas.
Yeah, and that's it.
I almost died on Titan.
A lot of people almost.
No, I literally almost flew out of it.
A lot of people almost fly out.
So then I would go.
When you have to have a block, a big red block to check to see if the thing's on, it's a messed up ride.
Yeah, you know that when it goes into that block break, it comes up and it goes like that.
Yeah.
Whatever sea it was in, I literally was like whoop, and the people in front of me were looking back. They grabbed me, and my brother grabbed me and pulled me back. My knees were above the lap bar.
Yeah.
That's like almost death.
Say Kumba.
Yeah. Oh, Kumba, yes. Kumba, I've ridden. I don't know where the hell Dragon Kalua, whatever the hell that is. I never heard of that
The
one.
only B&M sit-down I've ridden is Hulk.
Yeah, Hulk's good too.
That's the only one I've ridden. I'd like to ride Kumba. I'm trying
But
to
I
get
would
out to
say,
Busch Gardens,
even though
Tampa.
Hulk is a launch, I will say Kumba is better than Hulk.
I could agree with that.
The layout, I feel, is better.
Yeah.
Think about it. Once Hulk does its launch
That,
and flips, it's a regular B&M layout. Nothing. Kumba is a little different.
Yeah, I can.
Same but different. Yeah, I've never been to Port Adventure. That's in Spain, I think, right?
Yeah.
Oh, then they rebelled and died.
Well,
I never
say-
even heard of that company.
Juvenile, yeah.
Never heard of it.
I think it was supposed to be like a spin-off of like B&M, and they try to make like, I just said because it would look similar to the, like a B&M track, but they were trying to make their own. I actually because I went on to like what they used to have for the site, and that's how I do. That's how I know whether rides are gonna come back or not. Is I go look at the manufacturer's site, and if they don't even have that model, you ain't gonna see that. It's just and if a place has it, they either better have enough spare parts to do it, or it's on the chopping block.
Yeah. How intense
That's
is
why
Kumba?
I think Tomahawk may be gone, but that's a whole other thing.
Kumba's pretty intense. It's just a fun ride. I love the hell out of that ride. I always try to get in multiple rides. Like if it's not a busy day, like it's a 10-minute wait, like get off, get on, wait 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Get back on, wait. I like Titan.
I like Titan. The first time I went, which was in the winter, which I was telling these guys that I think Holiday in the Park is like the best time to go. For me, Mr. Freeze was 50-50 because they tried to play the whole, technically it's not supposed to be open, but then that whole Saturday was open, and then Sunday was only open from park opening till like 3 in the afternoon, and then they started giving out passes. So there you go, links.
Yeah. See, I've only ridden Titan. I've only visited over Texas once. That was 2011. When the new Texas Giant opened. So that was the first time I'd ever been to that park, and I rode every coaster in that park, and I had a blast. Loved it. I thought Titan was great. I love over Texas.
You know the difference between Goliath and Titan, right?
No.
It is I think it's a 10 or 20 foot difference, like Titan's higher, and they have the one extra helix
Really?
than Goliath.
Favorite B&M is Superman Krypton from Six Flags Fiesta Texas. I haven't been to Fiesta yet.
Mine is...
Yeah, see, I need to get the Fiesta to get those credits and hang out. He keeps going, when you coming down? When you coming down? I'm like, I don't know yet.
I completely, pick on him for it.
Yeah, I just gotta,
He will.
I'm coming. I'm invading Fiesta, Texas at some point.
Oh, he will.
More sooner than later.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna fart all over you, coaster trains.
The doctor will come.
Yep. Then I'm gonna fart in all the coaster trains and leave my fart mark on the seat.
If you don't do it,
Everybody else will.
everybody else will.
But I just figure I want to threaten everybody with my farts.
Yeah.
All right, so enough with Disney and Universal. Six Flags Great Adventure. Some crazy guy wanted a job. So he thought the best thing to do was when they said he was like sketchy and weird and threatening, they threw him out. So he went home and he got some weapons and he decided, I'm coming back with weapons to demand a job. I didn't know.
Is that what happened?
Yes. I read the article.
Went to go get a job.
He was pissed that he didn't get hired. So he came back to harass the employees. He came back with
3 words. Grow a pair.
So he came back with a machete and a
That's all I
gun,
have to say for that.
and he had an AR-15 at home.
Yeah.
So he got arrested. He got arrested. Did because he was stupid. Did and
I got a rant about that though, and it's not. It goes the other way. It lives in the topic of security. My thing is, so it's that whole thing's crazy in general, but from the news articles, they were pretty quick to like stop him from they saw the man and was like, hey, what the hell are you doing here, and got the cops involved. But it's funny how a lot of the Six Flags there's some Six Flags that there's that whole, speaking of the TSA, the whole test they did, see if the weapons got through, and they did a test, and literally all the weapons, they detected none of it. It's kind of the same thing with security at Six Flags. Now, so I'm reading that, and my first thing, and I'm like, and this was me looking at that as I'm going out of the parking lot of Fiesta, and the guys like waving around, not even directing, and then like 5 people almost like literally trying to run themselves, get themselves run over. And I'm like, so Great Adventure can stop a mass murder, but a lot of these parks can't even get people out of the parking. Thought.
It's just
and the only like New England's is different because you have actual police officers directing traffic out, which is what it should be.
Yeah.
In that situation, especially because that being a state road, that like New England does it right because they get them out of the parking lot, and also New England's different because they have the sections.
Yeah.
You get a parking lot like Fiesta. Over Texas is different because you also have the parking from Globe Life Park and ATTN Stadium. But with the exception of that, I mean, like, I'm just gonna say it right on this channel that Fiesta needs their security better, and I'm sure a lot of people
lot of
it.
I think a lot of it is training.
If I'm reading this article and these guys can stop a mass murderer, but almost 5 employees are literally walking in front of moving cars.
Yeah, well, it comes down to training. Certain parks.
Well, they just don't. The thing, it's not hard to train. I mean,
no.
My job trains people to fuel an aircraft, 1,000-ton aircraft from nothing. It's not hard to direct traffic. I mean, I can do that in a day. I mean, you just...
Yeah, you gotta get a feel and a flow.
But,
and
you point to them. They're over there, this way. Know where their place is. I mean, it's. I don't know. So I read that article and I'm like, whatever I didn't know the backstory. I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, that was.
So he wanted a job and
he got turned down, so he got pissed off.
So it's like, oh, let me go grab my gun and see maybe.
Yeah, he grabbed a gun and a machete and came back. He left his AR-15 at home. Of course, they didn't name the other gun. They had to make it a point that he had an AR-15 at home.
Well,
they had to make that point.
The media nowadays, everything's an AR.
Yeah, and then he had a machete.
Uh-oh.
So he was trying to be Jason Voorhees. He came to try to do Fright Fest too early. Or maybe he was really like trying. Maybe he wanted to be a Fright Fest actor, and he was like, "Look, I got a machete and a knife, and a gun, and I'm just gonna scare everybody. Watch, I can do this. I can do this." And no, he got turned down, went home, got pissed, and he wanted to get pissed off at employees. Came with a machete and a gun. He got arrested. He's done.
And they're like, "Dude, the most thing we use is a machine. It's a chainsaw without the chain in it. Like,
yeah,
calm down."
Yeah, I don't know if it was for Fright Fest, but it just sounded good because it
had
a machete. Had a machete.
Yeah.
All right, so next on the list, Magic Mountain. I read this on Screamscape the other day. They've been trying to take apart Green Lantern so they can move it to Lerone,
Yeah.
but the crane they have wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
The first piece that they were trying to take out weighed something like 15,000 pounds or whatever it was, and the crane that they have to put it this way, they have to get a bigger crane because the crane they have wasn't able to hold it. So they were making the issue of that Green Lantern is being stubborn to leave the park because now they have to go get a bigger crane so that can handle the weight.
Yeah.
How do they not? My thing is, whoever's in charge of taking, obviously it's not the park itself.
Yeah,
There's a construction.
whoever the
How do they not
company
know?
is to go bring in? Hey, these are the pieces we have. Can you bring something that may? Oh, I don't know. Hold the piece.
Yeah, it can't
for
hold the
10
piece.
seconds?
They can't
I
hold
mean,
the
all
piece.
they're doing is taking it off and putting it on a trailer.
Yeah,
I mean,
and they couldn't do that. So,
but
and I saw the question that Max had asked how intense Kumba was. I haven't ridden it in a couple years. It
looks like it goes pretty.
It's intense. It's not like crazy, like you're gonna die intense.
No,
but it's intense enough. It's a
got
fun
good pacing
ride.
on it.
It's got a great pacing on it. It's got some nice inversions on it. It's really good. And if you haven't ridden it, you should ride it because I love it.
That's one of the products I'm trying to get out there, but you know.
Yeah, it's always
Money.
tough. Yeah, money's always the root of all evil. Also coming out of Magic Mountain, West Coast races topped off. The only track pieces that are missing is a couple launch pieces. So that should be getting ready maybe by January to be open at this rate. I don't know. And then, Apocalypse started testing with water dummies.
Oh, did they?
So that should be opening soon. Hey, what's up, Rich? So for those going out to Magic Mountain, keep an eye out for Apocalypse. I have no clue. There's not even an educated guess for West Coast races. New for 2020.
Yeah.
They got porked.
And I saw that the people were, of course, the fanboys of Magic Mountain, were complaining. There's a story. I had a buddy from high school that I took the Fiesta, and he has one of his buddies who went to training with him, that they're doing training in San Antonio right now. And he worked at Magic Mountain for 2 months. And a guy thinks he knows everything, and I'm just...
Yeah, but doesn't everybody think they know everything?
No, so he kept talking about Magic Mountain, and I'm like, hey, what? So I said, hey, what are you getting for 2020? Oh, that's right. And
Garbage cans.
no, you're getting a new crane.
Yeah, you're getting a new crane to take a ride out.
New from such and such construction. Rocky Mountain Construction will send its own crane over.
Yeah, well, you know what's funny? There was I saw like a news outlet from Canada. Somebody posted it, and I was laughing my ass off on Facebook.
Well, because the cars are already over there.
Are they?
Or at least they were being transported.
Most of the people that in the area think it's a brand new ride. They do not know that it's a used.
I'm gonna refer to what Dave said last week. I'm sorry, Laron, but you're special people.
Yeah, they love the pain.
And that's why they get those. Because I mean, why spend money on a new ride? They won't know the difference. So.
And then there are enthusiasts chiming in the mess, in the post, the comments, going, "That's an old ride from Magic Mountain being transferred here."
Just be like, stop. Let them dream.
Yeah, let
the poor kid experience.
I was even gonna run. I'm like, nah, let them have their moment. Let them have a dream.
Like
let them do their thing. Let them have a moment. Let them have a moment and think it's a new ride. Who am I to ruin it for them?
I always compare it to You know, it's that thing where you want to stop a kid from doing something, but you're like, no, wait.
Yeah,
you
I
actually
wanna-
want him to experience what happens.
Yeah, it's
if
like
you stick a fork in the outlet instead of being like, no. You're
Oh, when
like,
they
no,
put
wait,
their hand,
hold on.
or they put the hand over the open fire and like, "Ooh, maybe let him burn himself. Screw it."
I was like, hey, they gonna learn. They gonna learn today.
All right, so we're gonna move into your territory now. We're talking about Fiesta Texas. So everybody knows that they're getting Daredevil Die, which is a Zamparella Super Air Race, the biggest model. Now, I've only been on the one that was at Coney, which at the time was the biggest.
Yeah.
And then Casino Pier in New Jersey, they had the baby model, what we call it.
Yeah.
Now, when I rode the one in Coney, I loved the hell out of that ride. But I loved Casino Pier's better because it was smaller, there was more G-forces, more smaller circumference,
Yeah.
and it made it feel more powerful. But the Super Air Race, for those that don't know, this one rises up and then does what the normal air race does.
Yeah.
So, it's... I was telling him, and I've told other people, that I'm quite jealous of the air race, and we're going to also talk about Aquaman Power Wave as well. And I'm quite jealous of that. And there are people in the New England region, and that's why I bring it up. People in New England want those two rides here, and what better way to have someone from that area to sit here and talk about it? I mean, not that he's ridden them, but has more, I would say, care about it than technically we would, because it's your home parks, technically.
Yeah. I mean, like, if it's like you know when Cyborg's coming and you know where it's gonna go, and then so.
Yeah. And now, I've never been to Fiesta, so where is Daredevil Dive going to go in the park?
So, and Jay can go because right after the announcements, Jeff Siebert, the park president of Fiesta, and a couple others, he had a sort of like a whole after party, like after the announcements, and I'm pretty sure Great Adventure did that 1 year. I remember. I don't know if it was exactly for that or it was just some random Ace thing. But I remember Great Adventure did something after the announcements. It was like, hey, this is when, and then they got ERT.
No, you know,
Nitro or whatever it was.
Well, I remember
that one winter where it's like, which I think ended up leading to them doing Holiday in the Park.
Well, I remember, speaking of Great Adventure, Riding of the Bull always is the same day as the Golden Ticket Awards. So when the announcement was made that El Toro won #1 wood that year,
yeah,
they had an after party and they gave everybody little pins. And I think I put mine over here, I think. Let me see real quick. I think I have mine. Oh, right here. So that was 2017. Everybody in Ace got this. That was that Riding of the Bull. They had this whole party. They had a banner and a backdrop.
No, y'all can't see it, but it's essentially a little pin with the
Yeah, it looks.
the golden ticket.
See the
picture on it.
well, it's kind of like that Superman, but a little different. You know what? Let me pop up the screen so you guys can. It's
Focus a bit. There you go.
well, you can't. It's out of focus. I don't know what the
Yeah.
hell. But it looks like a golden ticket, and it says Golden Ticket Award, Six Flags Great Event 2017, El Toro, Best Wooden Coaster. So they gave all those to the Ace members, and I ended up with 3 of them. I already gave one away in one of the mystery boxes.
These guys are already trying to talk about it before we get to it.
Yeah, and then, what do you call it? And I think there's another one of these in one of the other mystery boxes somewhere. So, but yeah. So somebody
going
can-
on what the Jay said. So, I'm sure you know about the whole steampunk thing.
Yeah.
Six Flags does. So, Magic Mountain did it with the area where Scream and Twisted Colossus. So when they changed it over to Twisted Colossus from Colossus, that whole area is as the steampunk.
So does that
So-
mean Crack Axel Canyon is getting redone to a steampunk
So right now it's not. I'm saying at some point yes, probably in the next 2, maybe like 2022, it'll be like fully into that. So it's going there. There's a slingshot ride. There's one of the they have the train. One of the stations is right in Crack Axle, where Iron Rattler faces this side and Roadrunner's. So Iron Rattler's here, and the train station's kind of right here. There's a slingshot ride, like Blitz at, or which is now Nightwing, and it got moved like 10 different times.
Yeah.
That's essentially what our slingshot is doing. It's probably going to be moved like 10 different times till hopefully they get rid of it, which they probably won't. But, so they're moving that over to the new boardwalk section. So like 2016. Well, it was they built it before that. But 2016 when they had all that flat ride packages, the same year we got like Superman, back to Superman with VR.
Oh God, I hate that.
And the Looper coaster. That was the same year they got a flat package with all that. That whole area where also the new Pirates ride is, that boardwalk area, it's going to be moved over there. So that the slingshot will be moved over there, which is a better place for it. And they're going to put it right in that spot. So there's a couple things we need to do, because with the whole Chop 6 thing, I was lucky enough to get the first Chop 6 opening for New England. And then everyone else started to follow after that, because I truly actually believe that New England was the first Chop 6 to open. And now it's just by pure luck, because we went in. No,
there. because when I went to Great America in 2015, they had one.
Chop 6?
Yep. And America had one like a year later.
So it was just.
But now all the parks are starting to get it now.
Well, and that's just because of the whole Panda Express IP going.
Yeah, as the IP whatever agreement.
Yeah.
The licensing agreement, as they expired, they didn't renew them, and they just did their own thing. Hey, what's up, Smoky Mountain Hiker?
But, so essentially, and then they added more seating with that Chop 6, which, I have to say they for Fiesta, they did a really, I don't know if you've seen the videos, they had the dragon on whatnot, but, yeah, like, Jay's trying to get ahead of me here. So they have a nice covered seating for that. Right now it's kind of like, because Slingshot really doesn't take a whole lot of room. This ride's going to take a little bit bigger room, so they're going to have to move some stuff around. But it's essentially going in this little pocket. So you're going to have this ride with the backdrop of Iron Rattler.
Well, that's cool.
And then that whole area. It's still gonna be, unlike Magic Mountains, it's gonna kind of be sort of like the Crack Axle, but it's like Crack Axle moving. Like, over time, you're gonna see, like, it's okay, Jay. I'm busting your balls here. You're gonna see that progression of Crack Axle going into the steampunk age, and I think that's what the team over there is going for. But that's essentially going to sit in that Crack Axle. It's still going to be called Crack Axle Canyon, but
for now, anyway.
I from what it looks over time, it's going to become like a steampunk area.
And speaking of Chop 6, Dave, Jody, and Cadence had it on announcement day.
Yeah. The
portions are way smaller, and it's not as good as opening day. Not even close.
For
taste, presentation.
For
Chop 6.
Was that when we went on open day or after the fact?
After the fact. This was Thursday on announcement day. When we had it for lunch, and I was like...
Yeah, see, there's been a lot of people that have been saying that. I don't really eat a whole lot of Chinese food to begin with, but I certainly won't eat it at an amusement park.
I mean, well, that day that we had it was awesome. Yeah. Like, I was like, whoa!
Well, yeah, because essentially it was still, in a way, it was still Panda Express. So they were still serving it as if it was Panda Express. But I think over time they're like, hey, we need to start making it
less and less portions.
Like we need it for...
Hey, see you later, Max.
Have a good one. But, I mean, the only thing is, over Texas, a lot of them are going, like, over Texas, their snack option is this, a fried cheesecake egg roll.
Really?
It's freaking delicious. So I mean, I like to go. I always try to find restaurants that I go for certain food items. Like for me, I don't go to River. I mean, nobody goes to Riverboat for a burger. You shouldn't go to Riverboat for a burger. If you go to River,
people don't know better.
No, people do, but you shouldn't.
Yeah.
But it's like, so that's why you go to. See, New England's hard with the burgers. Fiesta has like 9 burgers.
Yeah, you can go to Fast Eddie's, JB's,
Yeah.
Technically Riverboat Cafe,
Well, no, but I mean, like, for good burgers,
JB's and Fast Eddie's.
I would say JB's, Johnny Rockets can be good.
I'm so over that.
New England's, well, I think because, like, Fiesta has 2 Johnny Rockets.
Yeah,
which I never thought about, but according
we used to have 2 Johnny Rockets.
Yeah.
One in the water park and one...
which I initially said Fiesta shouldn't, but then
But
looked
Hurricane
up why
Harbor in
they
New
had
England
it.
has either a... I think it's Take 6. I think they have another Take 6 in the water park. I forgot what it is.
That, or I think it was another, like a...
It was either Chopsticks or Take 6. I think it was Take 6. You know, with the red schooner bar, you know, by the big wave pool?
And I was telling these guys that I only go to the water park once a year. And that's just because I always avoid the water park during the day because that's where all the people are. And especially you got, like, Fiestas, which is here.
Oh, they got a tiny one?
Yeah. And that's not entirely their fault, but it's tiny.
Yeah, a lot of people they do their own food in the parking lot. They bring a cooler and they put their food in it. I mean,
I just go to certain places based on, like, I'm a one, and I do this even, like, I'll go to, like, McDonald's for $1 soda, and then go to somewhere else for an actual, like, sandwich. That's just me being weird, but I do that because certain places are good for certain things. I like going to Johnny Rocket, at least at Fiesta, I like going there for their burgers, but I'll go to, like, Old Blues for a brisket sandwich. Though I've been going to, they have the German section, Spasberg, Sangerfest Hall. I'm going there.
Now the pizza's good at the whatever the hell the name of the pizza place is by
So
Hauntapolooza.
we have Primo's in New England, right?
Yeah, Primo.
It's not very
what it is.
good, right? It comes with fries. Here, what they do is they have Primo's near Wonder Woman, and it's good. I mean, it's still like say pizza, but it's served with like cheese bread, and you can get like a meatball sub. Like it's essentially taking Primo's and Take 6, what it should be, and putting them together.
Yeah. But see, Take 6 at New England is a shit show.
Yeah, and then you barely get anything.
Well, no,
you barely get anything.
Well,
you wait like 3 hours for that much, and I'm like, all right, guess I'm going to JB's then.
what do you call it? At Take 6 in New England, they got one person on one side, one person on the other, and no cashier.
Yeah, don't eat the pizza at Riverboat.
I've eaten it. It was all right. I mean, it wasn't great, but when I was craving pizza and there was like no line, I was just like, screw it. But yeah, what do you call it? The food is just. Oh yeah, Take 6. So there's you've been to Take 6 in New England.
Yeah.
You know they have where the pasta stuff is and then the sandwiches.
Yeah.
So you got.
And then you
got the worker, no cashier. When this worker's done with your food, they become the cashier. They take their gloves off, put on, wash your hands.
It's because they want to be a Subway, but they can't run it.
No,
like
they need to
Subway.
have person, cashier.
Yeah. And even Subway does it where they have a person doing your meats and toasting, your cheese.
And then the
Then
person
you
do the toppings.
So the veggies and the dressing.
The taco place does that.
But sometimes, depending how to say it, I know like some Subways, they'll have like the veggie person will also go, because veggies ain't hard to put on a sandwich.
Yeah.
But then you have the other person doing the meat. But it's all depending on staffing and,
All right, so next on the list, Six Flags Over Texas, Aquaman Power Wave. It's that Max
Ruined
Super Splash. Yeah, it was ruined for everybody because people don't like to keep secrets anymore. And I kept trying. Like, I knew exactly what was going on for New England, exactly to a T. I knew. But
Yeah, but you kept your mouth shut about it, and you let people be surprised. You know, the
Yeah, I
people
mean-
that wanted to have it be surprised, let it be a surprise.
I mean, when I saw the 252 thing, I just took a shot in the dark, and
Yeah.
it came up what it was, and I was like, well, maybe it's this, and maybe it's this.
Yeah.
I said, I don't know. And then when I found out, I shut up about it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to ruin it. I didn't come out and go, this is what we're getting.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. Because, I don't know about you. I remember the days when you couldn't find any leaks. In those days, you'd wake up, like Christmas morning, and you were excited. You were pumped about the announcements.
Yeah.
Now everybody knows everything before the announcements.
Yeah.
But a lot of, I mean, not the power splash, but a lot of the leaks came because the idiot that was updating the website screwed up.
Yeah.
It's just stupid. Like, I really hope that like we can.
He said it too. But the capacity.
Yeah, the capacity's gonna suck. What I hope is for next year is that we can all band together and start having people stop ruining stuff. If you know about it,
I think we just do what I did. You get a bunch of people, because that whole entire week, I just kept my mouth shut about everything. I didn't even go on the groups. I didn't talk about it. I didn't listen. I didn't even go to the hype. And then August 20th, because I remember I was watching your shows when it was fun. You know, we had fun, and then it was all Christmas. You know, we'd get together I remember we had there's some people. I remember I did where I'd have like a overnight. Some people would like get together and be like waiting for the announcements.
yeah,
So that I'll have have like a announcement party. I remember that crap, and it was fun to do that because we're more our focus on being together and being able to watch it than we already know it. So now it's like there's no point to do it, because I
excited.
remember it's like, hey, why don't you do things like that, like get together and have that and be excited about it. If you know something great, you shut up. Just do us a favor and shut up.
I mean, if you're that excited about it and you gotta tell somebody, tell your friend in a private chat. Keep it off the groups. I mean, I feel it's okay to speculate.
Or tell a GP that has no
Yeah.
social media.
Well, the whole
'Cause
thing.
then they won't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, the whole thing with. I mean, I hope everybody realizes that when Six Flags is putting their 5-year plans together, we're not even in their
No.
mind. The enthusiasts are giving the finger.
Well, the thing is, they already know what they're putting it in well beforehand. So they already know what's coming in 22, 23, 24, 25,
Yeah, so there's
26. That we couldn't even speculate because they know what they're doing with their parks.
yeah, and
Whether we agree or not, they know
Exactly.
what
And
they're
the-
doing with their parks, and they know what direction they want to, whether we agree with it or not.
yeah,
It's gonna happen, and it's gonna
so
happen
when
the way
when they do all this stuff, and they put their plans together. Think about this. This is what I was told by New England at the time when they told me it was like 3 years ago, 3 years ago. At that time, only 3% of season pass holders went to more than one Six Flags.
Yeah.
So it's under 5%. It's never passed the 5% threshold. So if you think about it in today's world, less than 5% of total enthusiasts go to Six Flags.
Yeah.
That's the population of enthusiasts. 5% of their 25, 26 million guests.
Yeah.
That should tell. If you just divide that into 5%, that's how many enthusiasts are going to Six Flags. So they just. Well, anyway, so with this Aqua Power Wave thing, like Dave said last week, he had just come back from a Germany trip,
Yeah.
and he rode the one out in Europe. As a turntable, it's kind of the similar idea of Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
So while one's going, the other one's loading. It's obviously a capacity issue.
I think they're gonna have to figure that out because the people that go to over Texas know that if they don't do that, that ride isn't gonna get. I can see that very easily with the people that go to over Texas being a Hagrids problem. where that line, especially where it's located, the front entrance here, I can see that line going all the way to the front entrance.
Yeah,
Because of the people that go, not because it's, because it's a new ride and because it's something unique. But that's just the demographic of people in the DFW area.
they want a water ride.
And, they're getting that. If they don't have that, and I think they will, I think this goes back to that conversation of you can't really just go buy the animations. Because if they made that animation for the Wally one, could very well not have that turntable. Maybe, it's six, we're talking about two different companies here. We're talking about, which I think that he even used to be a Six Flags at one point.
Yeah, it did.
Sure. There was one there, and the one in Holland, both of them used to be in Six Flags Park. But anyhow, it's like, you're going by animations. All I'm going to do is just be hopeful that they do, knowing that the people, and I really think, some of the things people are like, oh, they're not going to do it, and I'm like, you really think, Six Flags, don't get me wrong, Six Flags does some stuff that are questionable, but they do have an understanding. They absolutely have an understanding of what, to an extent, sometimes they don't handle it in the right way, but they absolutely know what they're doing.
Well,
they absolutely know what they're doing.
Yeah, but
and if they don't, they fix it.
But what's the cost difference between a turntable and not having a turntable?
It won't matter. It'll be the difference between having your guests and not having your guests. Being a ride that's clearly, you're another overseas ride. It's got to be, you're going to need your money's worth of it.
I'm going to look up the ride real quick. Oops. All right, so
over Texas.
I just want regular Six Flags.
Six Flags Wikipedia.
No, I just want.
This is Google. You got to be more specific.
Yeah. I'll just do. Oh, let's if I could spell. All right, so let's go to new for 2020.
I'll have everything else.
Oh, that's funny. I like that. All right, where the hell is the... Did I miss it? Yeah, okay. So... Oh, get out of here, you stupid ad. I already got a dining pass and everything in between. F off.
Yeah.
Based off of this animation...
And they're clearing a lot more land for that because the actual Aquaman was a little bit smaller footprint.
Based off of this, there is no turntable. It just
but that doesn't mean
that it's not going to have one. But what I also want to see is, does it? Oh, it doesn't say how many riders per train.
I think, didn't Dave say it was like 20?
Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Yes. So 20 riders.
Yeah, 20.
20 riders for the train. Obviously, there's one train, but I don't know, man.
I just, if we don't know, I just, all you can do is hope that I think they will.
I don't know. No offense, but there is offense.
I don't think you can build one that doesn't have one. I don't think you can.
I think you can.
Unless you look up one that doesn't have it. How many are actually in the world?
What is that? What is it? A Mac Power Splash? I can't spell tonight for nothing. Actually, I can never spell. What am I doing? All right, so oh yeah, Pulsar.
Yeah, that's the one with the turntable.
It may have it, and we just don't know.
Yeah, they're not going to put... it's a release spin. And going off Six Flags carrying the GP, the GP doesn't care about the insides of everything. They're like, oh, cool, new ride. We're going to go ride it. They don't care whether it's... They're not gonna go look in like stop it and like we are and looking inside and be like, oh, it doesn't seem like it hasn't.
All right, so let's see. Where's...
It's on our roller coasters.
All right, so is that what that is? Super Splash?
That is a page you cannot go in there.
Well, let's see what... All right, so now, it's a power splash.
Yeah.
All right, so there's one going in France. So that's one.
2021 now. So they're
Yeah,
coming for this
South
year.
Korea. Over Texas, that's 3.
That's the
China.
That's
That's 4.
they're building that like now.
That's 5. So there's only been 5.
Well, and all those other ones are coming for.
What
next
the hell is
year.
a Super Splash?
I don't know. Go to the mock website.
All right. Hagrids. And now I'm interested to see what the hell... What was it called? Power Splash? Okay, what's a Power Splash?
The power splash is this. So just go down, because if you go down to the specifications, it'll be all like right there. So huge 20-seater book, no shoulder restraints, most kind of wear and tear free LSM. Go back to that.
Wait,
Power
what was the
Splash.
other... Oh, that's Power Splash. What was the other one? Was it
Super
Super...
Splash.
Oh, yeah. So what's a Super? Oh, it's just a regular...
Oh, that's Journey to Atlantis.
Oh, okay.
At SeaWorld.
Okay, so now we know what that is. I didn't know...
Yeah, I've been getting texts all day. Yeah, the turntable is on its page. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things because I like me personally, I'm and Lindsay on the channel's like that too. We go on. I'm one of those guys that goes on mainly because I like the manufacturing, but it will tell you like what variations you can do of it if it does. Like it will show you like I can't remember. Like some of the Huss rides. It will show you like some of the ones that are trailer models. It will show you the dimensions of how many trailers it does to set it up, what the power voltage is. Like it literally tells you a step by step of.
Oh, I thought it was like instant information.
Hold on, scroll down for a second. From 7 to 80 years, so that's the
Life expectancy of the ride. But when you go there, it's just...
turntable set in order. Is equipped with the. So they already have it. I mean, it would say you can customize that to have it. So you get that with it. I don't think Six Flags, and I just don't believe Six Flags Over Texas would get that if it didn't have some sort of capacity or some way where they could manipulate it so it would have the capacity.
Yeah, they just I don't know. Sometimes I kind of question what they do. Six Flags. I mean, sometimes they do the right thing, and sometimes they do the wrong thing. When it
comes to safety, though, especially with, New Texas Giant and all that BS, I think when it comes to safety, they have to be.
Yeah,
they have to be.
I mean, New Texas Giant was a little unfortunate.
You have to think about it, especially when we're in a suit happy environment. They have to take every precaution necessary.
Yeah.
But they don't care. They know people will wait long enough.
All right, so the next topic at Fiesta Texas, the Joker Pendulum Ride. So it was basically the same thing.
Insanity.
Yeah, same thing as Harley Quinn. The only thing that you guys got that I wish we got the poop end of the stick on this one, was you guys got a walk-through fun house in the queue line.
Yes.
We didn't get that.
You did not.
That's not fair.
It's alright.
I'm flying down. I'm taking it with me.
You could try.
I'm gonna take it all.
I keep trying. A lot of the other guys here, when they have videos of it. I meant to give you a personal walkthrough of that from the entry from the line to the exit point of it, just so you have so we have something on the page. Again, it's not SFNE stuff, but it'd be good to have so that people.
Well, yeah, when I saw it and then you were telling me, they're putting a fun house in the queue.
Yeah.
I'm like, F you, buddy, we ain't got that.
Yeah, so and it's very. It's not like crazy, but it's worth, especially the first part. Let's say I keep trying. I gotta remind myself next time I go to record going through it. It's just because you kind of have to go through that quickly. What they do is they have cameras in there because it interlinks with the line. They can only let so many people in. I think it's like 7 or 8 people at a time go through the fun house, and they have to wait till they're on the other side of the fun house to let more people in, so the line keeps moving. But I've been meaning to take the video of that. It's really, they spent especially because our parts came in late. Which made sense because from what Jeff Siebert told me, 2018 being the first announcement before the actual announcements. Hey, we're getting a single rail coaster.
Oh yeah.
Even before everybody else even told you what they were getting, you already knew Fiesta was getting a single rail coaster. So I think them being the first and then being a little later, it balanced out. But because they had so much time, they had a lot more time to really bring out that attraction, because we were waiting for parts. We had the whole thing, the whole thing was up. They were still building the fun house. Then they just had to wait for the actual parts to arrive, which arrived then sometime in June I guess it went into the port of Houston and then trucked it. And then they had the issues with the motor, so they had a lot of time. In that time, they had a lot of time to really enhance it to what it is. It's fun.
Now, I believe it was Jay. Let me say. Do you call it a coaster or just a water ride?
I will call it a water ride.
Well,
what does Mac call it? Or Mock?
It says combining water fun with the boost of launch coaster technology.
Coaster technology. It doesn't say it's.
But if that's the case, then Wicked Twister and whatever it is at Dorney is not a coaster.
Right.
Does the same, except there's no hump. It does exactly the same thing. The only difference is you got a hump here in water, but it's going back and forth.
Yeah.
That's like the whole argument of, is the Looper a coaster? Or the stupid Skyline Attractions rides there.
Well, Larson even does it as a looping ride.
Well, at first it said looping coaster. When Six Flags, I read it. They changed the. I think they caught a lot of. What was it? Larson International, right?
Yeah. Because I was looking for so the first thing there is
it's a giant loop.
So their biggest one is, I think, like a 32 meter. That's El Diablo.
Supersized the Fireball and came up with this larger, dominating, compact roller coaster. They call the Looper the Fireball's
nice
roller coaster.
job. Photo credits to Six Flags New England, Fiesta Texas, and Discovery. For
Probably all this stuff.
the photos. Well, I see. You look at the top there. It's the Carnival version,
Yes.
the Ring of Fire, which I know it by, is a ride.
Yeah.
To me, this is a carnival ride because see how the specifications there. It even shows you all. Larson does see power requirements 480 volt. Like they go all out, height, width, dimensions.
Yep.
Conventional train. Sitting inside the loop.
Forward and backward, 24 people. No one under 48 inches. Yeah, well, that's why, like, some people consider,
honestly, it sounds like I have a lot of hype. I don't care. It's a ride to me, and I'm,
I don't care what it is. I'm just gonna ride it when I get my chance.
Right. And I'm either gonna like it or I'm not gonna like it.
Yeah, I mean, the concept of it is cool.
Yeah.
I'll take it for what it is.
To me, it's a carnival ride. To me, it's it's a Fiesta shows, carnival ride that, gets traveled around in the Big E every year.
Yeah, and then like Lindsay's saying, however, the Super Loops and Sky Warps have cars attached to something, so they are not coasters. You still have El Diablo on the homepage. Yep. Well, that also, in a sense, you could kind of call it a coaster only because, example, you go to some carnivals, and even Canopy Lake has the Dragon Coaster. It's a powered coaster.
Well, it's a coaster. It's got a lift.
I mean, everybody's so used. See, here's the problem. We're so used to traditional.
Yeah.
You go up a lift, and it goes and does its thing.
It breaks.
Yeah.
Sensation.
For me, it was hard. It's a hard pill to swallow when you have a fireball, and it just goes. It's a loop.
Yeah.
There's no lift.
But it's a looping coaster. I'm like, yeah, so is Shockwave, technically.
I mean, and then you can go, well, what about launch coasters? Because they don't have a traditional lift. They get launched and pushed up, and then they come down. It's tit for tat. I don't consider it a coaster. I don't consider the Skywarp's a coaster. I will not. I feel Skywarp is just a oddly shaped fireball.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. And I'm not saying...
and then you got the Tidal Wave, which is a Skywarp.
The little baby one. Is that the little baby one?
It's a Skywarp that fell down. So instead of being upright, it's down below and had issues literally the first week it opened. And
that's what the little corkscrew, right? The little barrel or whatever. I think what Skyline Attractions needs to do before releasing any more of their rides out into the wild is fix their issues.
A proofreader and be like, hey.
But no. If you want to call it a coaster, call it whatever you want to call it. Call it a magic wand, call it a chocolate chip cookie. I don't care what you want to call it. But whatever you're going to call it, make sure it works. I'm not saying make Skyline Attractions go out of business. No, I'm saying
just be like,
I don't care about even what you call it.
Yeah.
Get your product working.
Yeah.
Every single Skywarp or whatever ride they're putting out.
Test it.
Well, here's the problem. They test them at their factories, their place. It's a lot different than when it's in a real world environment. I don't know why. You would think because they test those things for hours and days and weeks and months, and they don't for some reason get the hiccups.
You do what the Air Force does with their aircraft. You put it in a climate chamber. You put it through extreme heat. You put it through really cold. You put it through literally everything.
Yeah. So
by the time it comes out.
Yeah, I just, it is what it is. I get it. I just wish that's kind of like the Cyborg at Great Adventure. Yeah. They're not making any more of those right now. They're working on fixing the issues with all the motors and stuff. Then once they work the kinks out.
Which Chance did that with their chaos instead of trashing it.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
But
I get it.
Chance had to do what they had to do.
All right, so what do I got here? All right, so the next tid. We talked about the Funhouse. We talked about Fiesta. We talked about Over Texas. We talked about Daredevil Dive. Quickly, Hauntapolooza. We all know that's the Halloween thing that we do. That's the other channel. It's linked on the YouTube channel when you click it. That's where we did the Fairtown movie for that haunt. But I was talking to the manager of the Factory of Terror in West Warwick yesterday. Now, I'd been talking to her towards the end of the last Halloween haunt season, and I found out earlier this year that they almost shut that one down. Factory Terror owns 3: Worcester, Fall River, and West Warwick. West Warwick doesn't have the attendance as the other two. So they were like, oh, well, I'm not going to keep it going. So they gave it like another year, I guess. So when I talked to the manager, I said, look, this is what we're going to do. I said, when I did the stuff for the Factory of Terror in Worcester, they actually got an attendance spike. They were told that they watched our videos. They told me they watched the video. People were like, oh, we're going to go check this place out. Because they let me, I was able to film the entire haunt. They said I can't release the entire haunt. I can release little scenes in my review. They were happy with that. I followed the rules, and it was cool. So I told the woman, the manager there, I said, look, go on my YouTube channel, see what I did with any of the haunts that I did. I said, look at what we did for Factory of Terror Worcester. I said, that's what we're going to do for you. But I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to go there when it's open and do live streams, not from inside the haunt. I don't want to ruin it for anybody. They're not like Fairtown that changes every year. They don't change all the year.
Speaking of Hauntapolooza.
Oh, yeah, about 13th World. So, in any case, so what we're going to do is there's a behind the scenes that they're going to let us do. They're going to let us film the haunt as it's open. We just can't release the whole thing. Yeah. We're going to do behind the scenes, interviews. We're going to talk about stuff. There's also what we're working on. I actually got pricing about doing, they do when the haunt's not open, so like during the day or any other time, they have laser tag, and you can play laser tag going through the haunt. As long as you follow the rules and don't touch the stuff and break stuff. So, the cost is, they only have 19 working guns at the moment, so it's not a huge group.
Yeah.
We could get like 15 people, $21 a person, 2 hours of laser tag. You can bring your own food, just no adult beverages, and we can make an event out of it. So, yeah, what is this is Hauntapolooza information.
Yeah.
What is breaking news?
That's awesome. 13th World.
Oh. Alright, so I guess we're going to go to 13th World. That's the one in Cumberland on Diamond Hill.
Oh, okay.
You ever hear that one?
Yeah.
Alright, so we went there last year and it was awful. It was bad. Like the first year we went, it was awesome. We're like, oh, we want to go back again because it was awesome. And last year, because the ending of it last year, the year before, they had like the big tents. They have the sides on. It was all enclosed, and it was pitch black, and the whole tent was full of fog, and you had to find your way out.
Wow.
And I was like, that it sucked because you're like, it was like Cheech and Chong went in there and smoked a couple thousand blunts in there, and but yeah, so, and then last year they ended it with a crappy Pinhead scene. I love those movies with Pinhead. Love them. Absolutely love them. The Haunt, not so much. They play off of doing some original stuff, but they really play on taking little things here and there from Freddy, The Purge, Jason, whatever's popular. I get it, not hating, but last year was god awful. It was bad. But, see, now they want us to review it and film it, so... Hey, I'm all about doing all the behind-the-scenes stuff and getting haunts. See, we got a hookup.
I guess maybe they're trying to change something within for that 13th World. So. According to that message.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah, they said they make it better because they were... the actors were volunteered this year. They're being paid. Yeah, that'll up the ante on it.
The difference is when you give people some money...
Money changes everything.
It does.
I don't even think Danielle's watching. Bad girl, Danielle, for not watching the Growth Show.
Every once in a while, see her.
Yeah, but she's not cool.
Well, that's when you say, oh, you can message that, but you can't go on a Growth Show to say that.
Yeah, Danielle, you can message me it, but you can't come in the chat room and tell us that. Bad girl. You're a bad girl. Jimmy should spank you. So, yeah. So, anyway, okay, so now we have for those that know anything about Cumberland, Rhode Island, we'll do 13th World once Jimmy and Danielle got that hookup. Then we will do. We're doing Fairtown again, new Fairtown, because they redo the whole. And
Are you doing a new movie for it?
Oh yeah, I worked it out with Fairtown. The deal is I can go film it, I can make my movie and release it, and they get the footage to make commercials and do whatever promotional stuff. I said because like he wanted. Well, actually, I kind of like made that deal, and he just agreed to it.
Right.
Well, because when that happened, like Halloween was like a Thursday or a Wednesday or something, or whatever it was last year. Fairtown starts right after that weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday they were doing. So I did that, and then like a week or two later was IAPA. I went down to IAPA. He goes to IAPA because there's a lot of they don't really have a lot of haunted stuff there. There's a few things. It's mostly for the haunt stuff. They have a lot of escape rooms. Yeah. They have the lady who runs and owns Transworld, that huge haunt expo, and they have a couple companies, small companies that do some haunt stuff. But they have a lot of workshops for the industry, and he partakes in a lot of those. And he actually he keeps going because surprisingly for him, being in the haunt industry, he sees benefit. I don't see it, but he sees something I don't.
Yeah,
it's weird, but in any case, so
I think because technically it's amusement, so
yeah. Well, I mean, I noticed last year, and you kind of see it in the beginning of the movie. They made a little midway. They had some games like throw a ball, break a plate.
Yeah.
They had the axe throwing. They had some escape rooms that are like 5 minutes long or something, but they weren't open during the extreme nights. They were open regular. So I know they got the axe throwing thing, and I know exactly which company they got it from because it was on the IAPA floor. I know. I could go to the owner and go, "You got it from such and such company, didn't you?" Because I was playing with.
Just hope it doesn't come back.
Yeah. No, you know what? I couldn't stick the target. Jessica did. Mother effer. I couldn't believe that. It made me feel less of a man already because she could stick it and I couldn't. She's the man in that.
I know this year for me is going to be try to push myself to do more. I just was never like a Fright Fest because when I went to New England, Fright Fest was kind of eh.
Well,
and they're starting to get better at it.
We'll see about that.
Kind of. Depending on where you go.
Well, again, it comes down to it, and I can't.
So here's a question regarding to that. Not to get off the topic of Feartown, but I guess she didn't really confirm anything. But is there anything going to be still in that DC superheroes area? That like Scare Zone, or is that?
Yeah, all that stuff's staying. Okay. There is, just so you know, for New England fans, Jen told me September 9th they're doing an announcement for the new haunt. If you go on the Fright Fest website, it's already listed.
Yeah.
Basically,
we've got Fiesta. We got a couple new ones that.
So Forgotten Laboratory, they used to be Total Darkness. Yeah. Well, it was something else, and then people got offended, so they changed the name. And I literally screamed at him in email. Both gens. I let him have it. But anyway.
Well, Fiesta won't let us do our film our.
Well, here's the thing. You want to film it? There's a way to do it. And I'm going to give you a quick story. If you look on our YouTube page here, and you look under the haunted attractions, there's a Six Flags Great America video. On a whim, because Puco was in Chicago and he was going there, I said, let me see if I can contact the park, get you in.
I know that year because that was the year of my first time at Fiesta. That's when I took that trip. Because I remember so-and-so was over there filming for that, and that was the same year I went to Fiesta. When I was still living here, I went to Fiesta.
So to get a hold of people was a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah.
Because I tried asking Jen who the communications manager was. She wouldn't give up the goods. She wouldn't give it to me. I don't know why, but she wouldn't give it to me. I don't know. Shame on her. So I said, I'm going to get it. I'm going to make it work. And I did. You know how I found out? I went on LinkedIn and I went to find out who it was. I found out who the old communications manager was. I didn't know. I contacted him. He emailed me right back. He goes, I don't work at the park anymore. I work at a different park. He goes, but this is who it is. Here's the email. Contact him. It was a lady. I emailed the lady. I did this all within like 8 hours. And then the next day I had Luco in the park. Oops, I said his name. I had him in the park. They allowed him to film one haunt. And he was filming around like Fright Fest stuff.
Yeah.
So if you want to do this,
so hold on. In that regard, hey Jay, I think it's Slaughterhouse 6 that whatever's the most popular one. Because I'm sure. I mean, maybe Jeff would. I'm not good with all the video stuff. Like, I have a phone.
well, here,
my camera stuff is crap, so I probably wouldn't be able. I get maybe another guy to do it.
Well, I'm going to show you exactly. You want to know what you need?
But
and it's not. I mean, it's.
I think it's Slaughterhouse 6. That's the one that everyone goes to at Fiesta. I know the. Jay or somebody help me out. What's the new haunted house? I thought it was Buried Alive, but I think Buried Alive is already there. I think they took out.
See this camera?
Aftermath. Yes.
90% of Fairtown was filmed with that.
For 179.
No.
For 149.
Yep, and
with
you.
Free light.
Yeah. See the. Oh wait. See the light attached to the side? That's an infrared light.
Oh, wow.
So it's a knockoff GoPro that sees night vision.
Is that how you got the night vision for Feartown?
Yeah. Well, it's a night vision camera. This is for ghost hunting. I spent hours, Puco and I spent hours researching how to do it because we wanted to do it for Fairtown without lighting up the room.
Yeah.
So we came across this website. They actually do have. Sometimes they're in stock. Sometimes they're not, but it's expensive.
Ghost hunting gear.
I'm trying to see if they got it. You could get a 360 camera rig for $600. Sometimes they say they don't have it right now, but sometimes there's a way to hack the GoPros.
Yeah.
And they sell them for like $300. But the quality in the audio is way better. The audio on this thing sucks because there's no volume control.
So you get.
Well, yeah, but if you noticed, I was able to kind of make the audio sound halfway decent because I have audio software that I could take it in there and I can compress the audio to help take out the distortion. I can lower it. And then it sounds better. So, but basically, if you want. If anybody wants the cameras, just go to GoStop. That's what I did.
I'm not afraid of it. I'm going to try to survive. So, Slaughterhouse is good. Infected. Oh, that's the new one at the Rockville area.
But yeah, like if you ever want to do
haunted house. Rockville High was the old one.
If you ever wanted to record. Night vision stuff, that's what you do. That's the only thing I'm surprised like GoPro or DJI has not put into their cameras was night vision. That's the only thing they're missing.
And I'm sure they will. Knowing that those are...
Oh wait, I want to go to National Home. I want to go to Fiesta. Where's
still on our flash sale. Fright Fest. Oh yeah, I guess they're doing the 30-hour coffin shop.
Yeah, I heard. Jen told me they were doing it again, and she said, but they're gonna make it tougher, because like everybody except for like 1 or 2 people
passed it.
Made it. 2 people didn't.
So yeah, Infected's new.
Infected, House of Bones is a new show.
And then that's
Monster Mash.
Show that's been there.
That's new Nacho Delos. More sounds like a bowl of nachos. Nachos de los Muertos.
Noche los Burritos.
What about burritos? New Creature Feature 2, Monsters in Paradise. They like to have a lot of music shows, I guess, huh? So you guys only have, what, one haunt?
I think that's the...
Oh, new for 2019.
All
right,
so yeah, Slaughterhouse 6, Buried Alive, Carnival, which is... They actually closed down Pandemonium. It's in the Pandemonium station for that.
Blood Bayou, Rockville High, Midnight
Rockville
Museum.
High. Okay, so they still
So that's kind of like Midnight Mansion, kind of?
Midnight
ish.
Yeah. That's it. I don't do the haunted house. I haven't done the haunted houses. So I haven't even done them here.
Do you have a Diamond Elite?
Yes.
You get a free haunt ticket, right?
They do a wristband for it.
Yeah.
There's certain ones, I think, like Slaughterhouse 6, because it's a long line, you have to pay for, like, a VIP one, but I think you get that discount with...
Yeah, the discount, I've had that. I heard Graveyard Groove isn't coming back. I wonder if they're going to put a new show or just axe it. This year's been weird with shows because they changed from whatever they had last year during the summer.
Yeah.
They made a new one with more newer songs, but it didn't open till like the end of June. They always open Memorial Day and then Labor Day.
Yeah.
It closed August 18th or 17th or something. So I don't know what they're doing with the shows. I got to find out.
I don't know.
Yeah, so like I said, here's the thing: if you have a good relationship with a manager or a communications manager or something, if you're asking the right way and you're telling what you're doing with the footage,
yeah,
9 out of 10 times they'll let you do it. There are some times they're like, no. Some will be like, hey, yeah, that's cool, or some will be like, no, go away. There are some jerky. I mean, I get it. You got to follow the rules. You got to do what you got to, and I get it. A lot of people that do haunts don't want anything out there, and I respect that. That's why I say, hey, look, let me film it. Let me take a couple little scenes out of it. I won't show you a haunt. I'll show a couple good scenes, review your haunt. They go, okay. Then what I do is, and because of that, now both Factory of Terrors want me to go in periodically to go film.
Yeah.
Because when I did it for Worcester, they can't always see everything. Especially when the haunts, they don't know what's going on. So they saw some props that were broken and needed to be moved or whatever. But because I gave them the footage, they saw it and were like, oh. So the next day before it opened, they fixed it. Everything was great. So they're like, so the benefit to that is I don't have to pay to get in. Yeah. So I get to go through the haunt multiple times.
Right.
And I film it. I get all the footage. They get all the footage. I don't release all the footage.
Yeah.
It's just, I just like I like...
You kind of give them back so that they give you...
Yeah, and when I told the lady at West Warwick Factory of Terror, she was like, yes, please.
Yeah.
So it's like, when I explained to her what they were doing, they're like, oh, you'll do that? I'm like, as long as you don't charge me to go in your haunt, I don't want to pay like 10 times.
Yeah.
Oh, no problem, you're in. As long as I give them the footage, they don't care.
It's like your ticket in is a camera and footage.
Yeah. And I'm okay with that. All right, so be on the lookout for Hauntapolooza stuff. I am going to, for those that don't know, it's the Hauntapolooza podcast on YouTube. I've moved all the Halloween stuff over to that channel. It's still an SFNEOnline thing. It's just people were getting sick and tired last year of all the... I mean, God forbid you... I'm not saying you, but people were complaining that during Halloween season, I was posting haunted house attractions during Halloween season. I can understand if I was doing it for Easter or
but
summer, you know what I mean? Like, we cover
if
attraction.
You're not going, someone else is going. What difference?
But I mean, don't get me wrong. There's enough people and a lot of people that like it, and I should have just never made another YouTube channel and just kept it.
Yeah.
I was just trying to keep. You can't make everybody happy, and I mean, if Hauntapolooza doesn't grow as much as I like it, I'll just.
mean, there's definitely people out there. I think you just.
I think we're at 99 subscribers on it, which isn't bad.
I think for this year, like especially getting the Fright Fest and this, they actually just released SeaWorld a new hunt for this year.
I saw that.
As I don't go through the haunted houses. Hopefully, I think this year maybe I'll change that. I'll try to at least go, especially with like Fiesta Texas. I'm getting it
included. Now, let me ask you: is haunted houses not your thing because you get scared, or you just don't give a crap?
Both. I think mostly because I get scared, and then getting in line to get scared.
Yeah, I mean that's why
because I'll get the wristband. But then you still have to sit in the line.
Yeah. See, that's why, like,
unless you
I used to get bored with haunts because I don't get. Matter of fact, over the weekend, I don't know if you saw the picture of the bonfire we had.
Yep.
Jimmy and I had bought a bunch of fireworks in New Hampshire.
Yep.
So we were lighting bottle rockets off and shooting.
I thought it was legal.
Aerial stuff is legal. Ground stuff's not.
Yeah, it could be rearranged.
Yeah. So, I was standing like near the fire, looking at my phone or something, and it blew up like almost right on top of me. It almost like blew up on top of me, and I didn't flinch.
SeaWorld. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, Milton Creek Manor.
Milton Creek Manor. Right where the tallest, fastest burrito stand in Texas is.
Nice.
At SeaWorld, I guess they're putting it in that area.
Yeah, so it blew up right next to me, and I didn't flinch. And he's like, not even a ooh, like nothing.
I think I would jump maybe a little.
I'm just nothing really. Once in a blue. My brother's the only one that's been able to get me. We were doing overnight work in JCPenney in Puerto Rico. We were balancing the lighting out.
Yeah.
And we were getting ready to leave. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I was going up the escalator. Didn't even see my brother. He ninja'd his way to me, and I almost fell off the escalator. He's the only one that's gotten me. Only one. Huh. He ninja'd his way and scared the crap out of me. But I got him back the next night. We had to go back for like 3 nights. Yeah. I hid in one of the clothes racks. When he came out, I grabbed his leg. He's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" You know.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I was like, "How do you like it?" All right.
I would say in terms of the Hauntapolooza podcast, just when all the Fright Fest stuff out, in conjunction, they're like, hey, we're gonna start doing maybe more of the podcast stuff towards that stuff. That time, I mean, maybe that's something if I could try to get to SeaWorld. I think I got a better schedule now, so maybe I'll try to get to SeaWorld and whatnot and see how
if you
the
get
stream is and maybe get on the podcast.
I think Jeremy did get me once actually. Maybe. It wasn't memorable scare.
I think Jersey Devil would be. I couldn't tell you.
Well, how about this? You've ridden Wonder Woman. I haven't. So, based off of that experience, how good do you think Jersey Devil will be?
So, I've been doing this thing lately where I get easily ticked off. It's also summer. Going to the parks in the dead of summer in Texas kind of makes me irritable.
Well, yeah, it's hot.
And so my patience level goes to practically 0.
Understandable.
Wonder Woman has changed.
For the worse or better?
I think I think you talked about this too, but oh no, it was so they had to do a lot of parts changing on Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was closed for a good couple of weeks. Because of how frequent they're running that, I think it was like the bearings or something on Wonder Woman. RMC looked at it; it's wearing a lot faster than they predicted. Like, oh, it's gonna last so. Yeah, I mean that's backseat anywhere, but I like the ride. I think it'll be a little bit more tame just because it's not in a compact area. It's more spread out. I mean, the dive down is still gonna be forceful, and you're still gonna have a good time. But I think like with the drop, it's it's more gradual. The thing with those, that layout is it's so compact that it's meant to just be as forceful because it's packing everything into this little space.
Yeah.
That's why if they ever put that, just if we were to put one of the rumors to fruition here, take out Goliath, you put that, it'd be the best hit because it's this one small area that you can really pack a punch into. But
yeah, I mean, I guess it is what it is.
And you never win because if you do that, then it'd be like, oh, you got 2 RMCs. But I think more people. Then again, I don't think that's an issue because Fiesta has 2 RMCs.
Yeah.
I think more people would be fine with 2 RMCs than 2
boomerangs. Yeah, that's the whole
and
thing.
One that like hardly ever works. But
all right, so it's almost 10. We got a couple things to talk about, and then we're done. So one of the things I wanted to talk about was, is Six Flags listening to us? I'll tell my spiel. You can let me know if you agree, if you want to add. So my spiel is this. Like I was saying earlier, I know people are going to be like, what are you talking about? They're listening. Everybody wants Giga Coasters. They're not listening to us. We've talked about the whys. So anyways.
Let's talk about logically first.
All right, so logically, they, like I was saying earlier, the actual enthusiasts, like that belong to coaster clubs, is so small, we don't matter for nothing. So you take all of us out of the equation. We're just along for the ride. Yeah. We love the parks and the rides that they got. So, what I mean by listening to us, look at all the attractions even this year. Do I still have it up?
Yeah.
All right.
Just go
back. I'm not gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say what they are. I'm not gonna go in a big description. So over Georgia, they're getting the 2 ride package with the Tilt-A-Whirl and the Supergirl we're getting.
Yeah.
Great America Water Coaster, Aquaman Power Wave at Over Texas, the Weird Ride, Outlaw at Great Escape. They're getting the Crazanity at Mexico. That one shouldn't even count. Supergirl at New England, Jersey Devil, Daredevil Dive. You got the spinning coaster at Discovery Kingdom, Catwoman's Whip at Lewis.
Harley Quinn clone it.
Harley Quinn clone at America. Then you got a bunch of water slides, right? A lot of water stuff. So and now, the reason why I say they listen to us, we've all been chirping in the area, Enthusiast and GP. Maybe not that ride, but all these rides. Maybe not that one, and definitely not that one. I know I've been chirping at Jen McGrath for air races. This ride here, the Endeavor. I've been chirping, about these. All these different water slides. I mean, we already have that one. But all these things.
I'm surprised. I didn't realize Hurricane Harbor didn't have that. I thought they already did. But
does Fiesta have it?
Yeah.
That's probably who got the
Bahama
first.
Blaster. The bonsai pipelines. I'm surprised they didn't already have that.
But yeah, so
we have it. It's Bahama Blaster.
So in reality, with all those rides, right? Hey, what's up, Theme Park New England? That's Sean Prout.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the reason why I think they listen to us, they always have a 5-year plan. The 5-year plan changes. So this could be stuff from 5 years ago that we told them that's coming into play now. They might be like, oh, And so with that being said, I think they are listening to us. Now, I don't think I don't think in 5 years everybody's getting a Giga.
Yeah.
But you have to think about this logically. Take the enthusiast out of the equation. All these rides that we just talked about really quick.
Yeah.
The GP is going to eat up even the weird outlaw ride at Great Escape. And Laurent people, they're going to enjoy the painful rides like S&M Sex. They're gonna want to get whipped and beat and bruised and killed.
Mr. Six is S&M.
Yeah, Mr. Six is into that S&M stuff. So Laurent people are gonna love that. The water rides, you think
there's something about those water rides that makes sense though, especially like me personally. I've been trying to look in like the smaller ones, the smaller parks that they're getting like all the Phoenix.
Yeah, they're building them up. They're trying to make them a destination.
Well, because they were already parks on their own. They were small little ones. I think now that Six Flags has a play in it, then make it more.
I mean, look, now that they got Darien Lake back, Wahoo Wave. They bought that one. Bonsai Pipeline, that makes sense. All these other little ones, you know what I mean? Like, it makes sense to build something.
The water rides for me is you can never go wrong with a water ride, especially if you don't have a whole lot and it's a hot day, summer day. I feel like you can't go wrong with a water ride.
Yeah, I mean, just like Jay's saying, the amount of money that they spent on all the rides this year is probably cheaper than what they've spent over the last few, like the years. Yeah. One, I looked up the debt that they have. They have $2.47 billion in debt. They're back up there again. Dummies.
I'm not surprised.
So I think what you're gonna see a lot of years like this year coming.
Where they're gonna
and why? They're gonna be cutting costs to get out of the debt. Because if you notice, they're getting rid of the problem rides. They're getting rid of the old rides, the crap rides. They're getting rid of them.
You know what they're doing at Fiesta?
What?
So I guess I didn't know this because obviously Fiesta was originally my home park. But I guess that whole clue stuff Jeff was doing, I guess the boomerang at Fiesta, and I'm so surprised, but I guess I can't really be. I mean, it's them in Mexico, just that demographic. Is the most ridden boomerang
really?
At Six Flags. So, it's currently now closed. They've taken the train out. They're retracking
the boomerang. What?
They're and I don't. It's a boomerang. A boomerang's a boomerang. But yeah, I guess that is the most ridden. Because certain people and certain demographics, what we think. That's why Laurent's getting, Green Lantern. What we
now
think
let me ask you this about your
trash.
Boomerang.
They think
do they
it's
have
a fucking wonder.
Flashback restraints or the good restraints?
Flashback restraints.
Oh, yeah. They need the good ones.
So maybe, what's it called? Carolina Sidewinder, whatever the one that Carowinds is that has the new ones.
And so doesn't Sidewinder at Hershey has them. Whatever it's Carolina something that has them too.
Yeah.
They need that.
Thing. But I found that very, and like I said, it's amusing to me because it's not my original home park. I've been riding. Flashback was kind of one of my first. Well, no, Thunderbolt was my first roller coaster. I'm glad it was because I still like Thunderbolt, even though my can't fit in.
I know my butt barely fits.
You know why? That's why I like Yankee Cannonball.
They don't have that, right?
No, at Canopy.
Yeah.
No divider. One singular bar for everyone. Plenty of room.
Yeah, that's good. Flying Cobras. All right, so like I said, my whole thing is I think they're listening to us. It's just kind of catching up. And I just hope that when more and more people watch this, they realize that at the end of the day, I hate to say it, kind of sounds bad. We don't matter. We matter, but we don't. We're not. Coaster Enthusiasts are frugal.
We're not
cheap.
making them the money that the GP is.
But we help them make the money by spreading the gospel of the rides.
We do, which is why they would listen. They kind of listen to us, but in the grand scheme of things, it's gonna be what the majority is.
Yeah, that's why, like, when you see all those surveys come, it's always the GP that's filling it up with, I want that ride. Yeah. That's why you got the clones. That's why you get whatever rides you get.
You know how they're doing it? Like this. They're not even, looking at
They're not paying attention. Us, we see what this is. Oh, what is this? Then we pause that. We pause that thing for the survey. Let me go look it up on Google real quick, and we go look. But yeah, so I don't know what you guys think, but I really do think that Six Flags is listening to people, not ignoring us. I think it's just, don't forget, they have 5-year plans. So whatever they're doing out 5 years ago, what we told them is kind of like what they're.
I think it's whatever their investment's going to be on it. So
yeah,
it's what's going to attract mainly the general public. But,
enthusiasts of free advertising.
Essentially.
I mean, look, I created this show in 2012,
Yeah.
and all I've been doing is advertising for Six Flags and other parks.
Yeah.
But I've built awesome relationships, and I get some little perks. Nothing. I mean, I was able to obtain this banner because of,
Yeah.
which I
Stuff
like.
You do.
Yeah, I mean that was a bribe.
Yeah. Loss prevention.
Yeah, that's a bribe. This was a bribe. But I take bribes. Hey, $20 is $20.
So that's what LP stands for.
Yeah. But yeah, so, and also just keep in mind this. Even though we don't always get our, what's up, Tyler Cage? Even though we don't always get our gigas or our crazy coasters or whatever it is we want, and I always, I'm the preachy kind that wants to make everybody happy. I know we can't do that. But instead of everybody bashing the park and going nuts, it's okay to voice your opinion. That I'm okay with. Be like, oh, I didn't, like the people that are going, oh, F this park because I didn't get a giga. Or I didn't get the right giga. Or I didn't get a T-Rex, I got a single rail little baby one. Dude.
I just say, well, let me get my violin real quick so I can play
Yeah,
a song.
it's like last year with Cyborg, well, this year, I mean, I actually like Cyborg. Not the greatest ride on the planet, no. What they did with it, I like it. Supergirl coming. Love it. It's a new version of a classic.
Yeah.
And I love it.
It's funny, though, because I've been seeing, well, Skyflyer hasn't had it yet, but Catwoman's Whip which was like one of the first they put it. One of the first. So, don't go attacking me. Yeah, I said one of the first of that. Was that the Overtext when they had that big ride package? It's now starting to have issues.
Yeah, I mean, rides
But
are
I
gonna,
mean, they're gonna have issues. I mean,
well, Cyborg has crazy issues all the time.
well,
New
Harley
England.
Quinn there was too. Actually, the first half of the from when it the first part of the season this year, Harley Quinn was not open.
Where, New England?
Over Texas, which is Cyborg.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about.
I thought that was the Cyborg you were talking about.
No, Cyborg at New England.
Yeah, I mean every ride. I mean, freaking Joker opened and had like 9 issues, but that's just because they're learning. It's not really so much an issue. It's the operators are learning. Hey, this is what happens when you do this. If you don't do it this way, this is what happens. So yeah, it sucks sitting in line and got all these issues. But at least you get a crew that knows, hey, if I do this, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to have to do this.
But see, Jay says they're kind of listening to us, but not really. If you think about it, like this year, a lot of these rides I've told New England about, and a lot of enthusiasts have told from their parks, hey, we want this kind of water slide, we want this kind of coaster, we want these kinds of flats. It's just happening in weird times, but I think right now they're being frugal. Cedar Fair did the same thing this year. There's big money in water parks, because with global warming comes hotter days, or whatever. So I think what's happening is it's cheaper to put in a water slide than a coaster. So they're going, if you're getting the same kind of turnout from a water slide and a coaster, put a coaster in. I mean, water slide, because it's cheaper. They're going to do, I'm telling you right now.
You can build a water slide in your backyard.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you here first. I don't know for sure. I'm just speculating. The next 5 to 10 years are going to be light.
I'm ready for it.
I'm just saying, I'm calling it out now because they got a debt problem. And if they don't take care of it now, they're screwed. They're back at the debt that they had when they went bankrupt. They are now back at, they're like, almost, they were at
and
3.
that's with like 3 parks not in their, 2 parks not in their system anymore. Because at that time they had New Orleans, 3 parks.
They had
because
Kentucky
they had
Kingdom.
Kentucky Kingdom, New Orleans, and Astroworld.
And now they're not
all
there.
3 of them not there.
I mean, that debt carried over even from the premiere days.
Granted,
they had the overseas parks, but they
also
sold
had
those.
Elitch Gardens, which is now its own thing, which now is getting...
Six Flagged.
No,
No.
Elitch Gardens is actually getting
the
chopped
one in Denver.
It's getting chopped by Denver.
Yeah,
City Denver.
it's going to move it somewhere else, so they claim.
I hope it does, because otherwise, from what I hear, it's getting chopped completely.
I don't know, but like I said, don't be surprised for the next 5 to 10 years that Six Flags and both Cedar, because Cedar Fair has over $2 billion in debt too. So don't be too surprised if you go light for the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, they have to pay those things off. It's like getting a couch at Jordan's Furniture. It's like, there's no way you're going to buy, like, 5 pieces of furniture from Ponytail and not...
Oh, yeah.
And not have to take time to, I don't know, pay that off.
Yeah, so they're going to have to go light because it's the amount of money that they have and all this other stuff. They got to pay the debt down or they'll be bankrupt again.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that Fiesta even got an air race because me personally, I would like to see... we got good... we got... And I think they should have done it. They did what they... they're doing what they're doing. That's fine. But I think it would have worked that you get a roller coaster one year, you got the big flat ride with the Funhouse, and then they also redid their wave swinger. It's not Crime Wave, it's like Supervillain Swing. It's actually really good. They put like music to it. They did a good job with it. But then I was kind of hoping, at minimum, that Kidzopolis would turn into a DC thing. It made sense for that area. They didn't, or they're not going to. I think they said they're refurbishing the area because there's some areas where it's like patchy and they want to make it more. But from what I heard, they're not changing it to Superville, which I would have liked to see. And I just more of, I think every other year they need to just keep the upkeep. Say, hey, we're gonna, instead of putting. I mean, they're, the thing is, Fiesta's doing that while trying to put in a new ride. And me personally, what I've seen, I know this is going to be like a big attack, sound like a big attack, but it's nice to put in rides, but like this year, we had, and especially like the Texas parks, and then Magic Mountain has it worse because they're every freaking day. Every single day they got to keep that park open, so they're trying to do all the background stuff. We got it easier here in New England because we have an off-season. They can go and clean shit up, stuff up, and do this and that.
It's all good, Cody.
So I was hoping that, Fiesta had some issues during the summer, which to be expected. I mean, the Texas parks get hot, people go there, it's a tourist destination. That's the same with Arlington, the bigger parks, Great Adventure. But I think what they do is if they take the time to not put the big ride, because I think what it was is all these problems were having, but they were so focused on getting Joker open, which to reasonable standards, why they would think that, but you're trying to get this ride open that you're not really focused. That's not your priority at the point. Which, you have to think that way, which is totally fine. But that way, you take the next year to be like, hey, look, we're gonna fix the boomerang. We're gonna do this. That's really all we're getting. So their major announcement would be, DC Supervillains from 2020. They've done it. You've seen it at Mexico, at Georgia. I mean, they can market it, that way. And that's personally what I would have rather see because I like my home park, whether it has its issues or not.
Both parks
have
do.
the issues that, you go there and immediately you're like, today's just not the day. We're going home. Like, I'm not going to do that. Especially being a pass holder, you can kind of do that where you're like, oh,
no, he's talking about how the issues they had with the Joker and how late they got the parts and all the stuff they were doing.
It was nothing of their fault, Cody. It's just, and then, Texas gets kind of over Texas and Fiesta gets packed. It's, 100 and something degrees. Everyone's there, especially during 4th of July was they had the most problems, just in terms of crowds. That's how I was saying. It's just in terms of crowds. And then this year, Fiesta went, weekends, which actually went really well. And I hope that they can do some background stuff during that time.
I mean, it's like all the times we've talked about, like, if we ran the park.
Yeah.
Like...
But ultimately, they're going to do what's best for it, and, this is just what I would see. Hey, I honestly, a Super Air Race is cool, and I'm going to be excited for it next year. You know, I'm not going to be that guy who... I mean, I can. I totally be like, hey, you know what? I'm not really excited about it, but whatever. I'm excited. You know, I can't wait to riot, but I personally would have rather seen the kids out, because that area is just... And now it just feels out of place. Now you're going to have Kidsopolis and much of Sposburg, which is turning into crack... You know, that area is now turning into, like, Crack Axel Canyon here. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Crack Axel Canyon pretty much is like nothing now.
Yeah.
That's what Sposburg is turning into.
Nothing.
You got this one area, because it used to expand all the way to Superman. Superman was in Sposburg, but now it's the DC Universe, because Superman, Joker, the suit swings, Batman is all there. So now there's no point to make that. You know, it doesn't make sense. So what it made sense to put that there, and then you have Sposburg that has the Flume, and because Sposburg has the Flume, the relocated carousel, and a kids ride. That's it. Which used to have Superman, and then before...
They're saying you guys always run out of ice. Same thing in New England. Always run out of ice.
That's
everywhere.
That's a 2019 problem. Before... Yeah. Because I didn't see that problem at Fiesta until after I went to New England for opening weekend.
Maybe you brought back the cold of no ice.
Well, so, you know what's funny is, I was in line for it. A lot of those freestyle machines gets jammed, especially with a big clob of ice. So, but the problem is, because I was actually standing in line and the guy was, like, poking at it, because he looked at it, like, there's ice. It's just in a big chunk. You know how, like, you buy a bag of ice and you put in, like, something colder than it was in, and you have to kind of, like, break it apart? That's with those freestyle machines, but a lot of times when it's busy, you know, when it's packed to the brim, the lines are out the other side of the park, they ain't got time for that, so
yeah,
they just say, well, you're out of ice.
Yep, sorry. Look, Great Escape ran out of soda.
Yeah, I think that's been just a 2019 problem, and I hope...
This has been a New England problem for like the last 2-3 years. Soda, ice, oh yeah.
I know,
but it's the freestyle machines.
But I heard Take 6 was the one that had that problem, because I hadn't had that problem up until opening weekend this year.
Oh no, I've seen it at Take 6. I've seen it at
JB's.
Like
3 places,
I've seen it at like Getting Soda, other places, Fast Eddie, all these places. They just Riverboat Cafe runs out all the time.
I think because the only two, it's probably because the only 2 places I go at New England are Riverboat and JB's, and they always have stuff. So
that sucks. All right, so the last thing we're going to talk about, then we're going to get out of here, is we're going to be starting a new podcast. I don't know. I can't tell you when. It's just audio. Some people have suggested it because a lot of people drive long distances.
Yeah.
So instead of having us waving around and talking a podcast, I don't know what I'm going to call it. I don't really know much about it. The thought popped in my head after last week's show. And I was like, you know what? We'll try it and we'll see how... Oh, he wants to know how Wonder Woman is. So we're going to do it and we'll put more information out when we have it. And this one, I figured a way which I can use my recording studio program. I got to get the wire that, for my phone. I used to do this on the Grove Show when people would call in. I can get a cord that plugs into this, that plugs into my mixing board, and then I can just record it. Then we can just talk like we're on a phone conversation, but it's recording and we're just doing the podcast. Like ahead of time, if it's you, I can say, hey, these are the topics we're going to talk about. We'll record them, and then we'll release it. I guess people put them on iTunes or wherever.
Yeah, there's a new one called Anchor that does it too.
So we'll do that, but I definitely want it. It's not going to be me solo ever.
Yeah.
Never. It's never going to be me solo.
I don't think many podcasts usually do that because it's
boring.
You would be it's like, what do? You talk in one end and then rush to the other seat.
I mean, if you really, if I had to do it, I could make different voices.
Mustache.
I'd be like, "Hi guys, I like that roller coaster. I think that roller coaster's fun." I could do stupid things like that if I wanted to. So
I know I'm trying to get my desk area, my new place.
So once we make an announcement of what we're gonna call it, and if anybody has any ideas that we can steal to call it, by all means, give me an idea to steal. And then if anybody wants to be on it, you let me know. Because anybody and everybody...
Of the show, or?
Well, no, it'll be totally different.
But I mean, no,
it'll be like
something in the name of...
Like, yeah, it'll be like a Grove show. You know, presented by SFNEOnline.
The Grove.
And it'll just be whatever we feel like talking about. You know, and it could be New England, or maybe if it's... It could be anything. It's. I don't want it to be... I want to have little certain different kind of segments. We can make little stupid jingles in between. You know, it's kind of like when Insane Clown Posse... when they're doing their concert and they want to have a break, they call it a Fago break because of the soda they throw, and they stop and then they have, it's one of the clowns changing the voice on, you know, in the audio mix, and it goes, Fago break, and then it's like, we want Fago. It sounds like it coming out of a clown, and then all of a sudden clowns come out and they're shaking soda bottles and they got the super soaker thing and they're spraying it and they got the big giant laundry buckets full of soda, and then it goes 1, 2, 3, splat! I'm like, what the hell is this? But yeah, so you can do stupid things like that.
Real quick, I don't want to leave Sean hanging. Regards to Wonder Woman, I mean, you've read Wicked Cyclone. It's essentially that, but just constant out of your seat. It's essentially like the airtime you get on Wicked Cyclone is essentially that, just over and over and over for the entire ride. I really can't. It's kind of hard to describe, especially now they keep tightening the seatbelts, so I get even smaller and smaller and smaller. Like Holiday Inn Park, I don't think I'm going to be able to ride that thing.
That'll suck.
It's going to suck, but it is what it is. But I wanted to answer his question before we...
And then Jay says he wants to ride Superman. Superman up here is amazing. I don't care what anybody says.
We got the better version, because otherwise we would have gotten Helix followed by Straight Track.
I mean, I don't mind the America version.
I don't mind them either. I've never ridden one, but...
It's cool. It's not as good.
I know what Helixes are like,
and because that,
I like ours where it up, goes up and dips down.
Because that one was supposed to go to Maryland, but because the one that they have could not fit in the spot, they switched.
Yeah, so we got.
Thank you, God. Thank you, God.
I'd like to shout out Bob Cornelius for getting that video. Every time I think about that roller coaster.
What video?
Of them actually building Superman.
Oh, he's got video of it?
Yeah, actually, he's got the whole transformation video from Riverside.
Oh, crap.
Yeah. Yeah. So every time I look at that, because of, back in that day, I could just imagine, being at 2000, 19th turn of the century. That must have been like the ride of the day, and the engineering that went into that, plus that was centered, and the reason why DC is like that is centered around Superman, and they did that on purpose.
Oh yeah,
they built that around Superman, and they did that.
Hey,
on
later,
purpose.
Michael.
Have a good one, Michael. And I don't know if you're leaving, Jay, but thanks all for tuning in.
Yeah, and so anyway,
next week it'll be just him. So
yeah, unfortunately, next week you're gonna have to deal with me.
I'll be just trolling on the keyboard.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta get off my ass and try to get the Skype working. I mean, it'll work. I just gotta test it. I just gotta do it. I can find 100 other things to do besides that Skype.
We'll work. It sounds complicated. Like, at least the phone version is not complicated at all.
Oh yeah, no, that's easy to do. I've already done that.
I did it with if you use, you have a different one, but I used OBS with mine.
Yeah, I got OBS that I want to use.
Yeah, and it works perfect on there. So I'll show you that. But.
So anyway, remember, Wednesday nights is the new night for the Grove Show. So that's what we're going to be doing. And we'll be back, same bat time, same bat channel on Wednesday. I don't know what we're going to talk about next week, but we'll figure it out. And we'll see what happens. But
I wasn't even in the frame half the time.
Probably not.
Nah, it's all right.
Who knows? But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week. And if you're new here, make sure you click subscribe. If you see a video, share it, like it. Tell me to go pound sand. I don't know. But I'll see you guys next week. And until then, everybody, keep on coasting, y'all. Peace!